Hey y'all. So today's objective is multi-step equations. We've worked with two-step equations. Now we're going to branch out to multi-step. First step is you distribute. The second step is you clear your fractions. We're going to practice some of that later. Third step, combine like terms on the same side. If you have terms on the same side of the equals, you can combine them. Step 4, you're going to undo your addition and subtraction. And step 5, undo your multiplication and division. So here's an example. The blue is the original problem. 6 times y minus 1 plus 8 equals 32. Step 1 is I've distributed my 6. So 6 times y is 6y. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Remember, a negative and a minus is the same thing. Plus 8 equals 32. I don't have any fractions, so step 3 is combine like terms. On my side of the equals, over here, I have a negative 6 and an 8. So I can combine negative 6 and 8. You don't do the opposite if you're combining like terms. The only time you do the opposite if you're going over the line. So negative 6 plus 8 is positive 2. I bring everything else down. Now I have a two-step, so I'm going to undo addition or subtraction. So right here I have addition. Going to undo the addition with subtraction, and I get 30. Hang on one second. Hey. Yes, it was perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, I just said hey. Thank you very much. Okay, bye. Okay, sorry, that was Mr. Cruz. So if anybody has Mr. Cruz, you say, hey, Mr. Cruz, you called in the middle of my video. All right, so here we go. 6y equals 30. Then we are going to divide both sides by 6, and y equals 5. Again, you can check your work by plugging in 5 right here. 5 minus 1 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 8 is 32. Alright, so copy these examples down. First step is to distribute. So I'm going to distribute. I'm going to get 6y minus 12. And then you bring everything else down. After you distribute, you clear your fractions. We don't have any fractions, so we're going to combine like terms. Over here on the side of the equals, I have a 6y and a 4y. I can combine those, 6y plus 4y, and that gives me 10y minus 12 equals 8. So my minus 12 comes down. Now I have a two-step, so I undo the subtraction. I'm going to undo the subtraction with addition. And 8 plus 12 is 20. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 10.
Mr. Jacobs, call 115, 112, please. Mr. Jacobs, call 112.
And y equals 2. So I want to check. I plug it back up here. Everywhere I see a y, I put in 2, and then I can get 8. Example B. I'm going to distribute, but I don't have a number out here. I have a negative, and I don't have a number. So I insert a 1, and I'm going to distribute my negative 1. Negative 1 times x is going to give me negative x, negative 1x. Negative 1 times 5 is going to give me a negative 5. Then I am going to undo my subtraction. I don't have any combine like terms. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And I'm left with negative x equals negative 14 plus 5 is negative 9. And this looks wrong because you can't have a negative variable. So in order to switch this out, I put a 1. I'm going to divide by negative 1. And x, a negative 9 divided by a negative 1 is going to be a positive 9. Because a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. example C and D. C has a decimal here, so I'm showing you an example with a decimal. You do it the same exact way. We don't have any distribute, I don't have any fractions, so we're going to combine like terms. Right here, we have a 0.5m minus 3m. So 0.5 minus 3 is going to give us a negative 2.5m plus 5 equals 0. I combined like terms. Then, and it's okay to have an equal 0. That's totally fine. 0 is a value. It's a number. We're going to subtract 5 on both sides. Negative 2.5m is going to equal negative 5. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. My last step, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2.5. And negative 5 divided by negative 2.5, I know it's going to be positive. I think it's 2. Because 2.5 is half of 5. Positive 2. We're going to have to check that one. If you have a calculator, check, because I don't have a calculator. Type in negative 5 divided by negative 2.5, and let me know tomorrow if I'm right or wrong. D. We have a distribute, but there's no number, so I put a 1. And I have to distribute a negative 1. So I bring down my 8y. Negative 1 times 2y is negative 2y. Negative 1 times negative 3. So you see these two negatives. A negative times a negative is a positive, so that's going to give me a positive 3. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive. I don't have any fractions, so I'm going to combine like terms. 8y minus 2y is going to give me 6y. Now I have a two-step. So I'm going to undo plus 3.
Mr. Holland, call Ms. B at 114, please.
9 minus 3 is 6. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. And y equals 1. So I have a U-chart right here. I want you to try this one. There's no distributing, so I want you to start at combine like terms, and then you're going to undo the addition and subtraction, and you're going to undo the division and multiplication. And when you get your x, remember to plug it back in, so x plus 3 times x minus 7, and you should get 29. We'll go over this tomorrow.